The Seoul, South Korea, and Incheon corridor has exactly 25 million people in it. Absolutely astounding. And it's only 33 miles from the demilitarized zone that separates North and South Korea. And here is a train that was found in the middle of the DMZ, shot to pieces. But the most interesting part are the 3 tunnels found in 1978 when they occurred an explosion. And they are a mile long, and the North Koreans were going to use them to attack South Korea, but they were found out shortly after the explosion.
This is the DMZ. There is North Korea.
This was the day that the North Koreans launched a major ICBM rocket, but we absolutely couldn't see it from our vantage point. We were just peering into North Korea. Beijing has 22 million people inhabiting it. It is formerly known as Peking. It has Tiananmen Square and the Forbidden City. The pollution wasn't too bad because it rained and it was quite windy. So we were very lucky with pollution. It wasn't one of my most favorite places. My most favorite place in China was the Great Wall. It is 13,000 miles long. That's from New York to Tokyo and back. Unbelievable. And here are 2 of our friends that made the trip really, really fun for us. The wall was started in 200 BC, and the majority of it was built in 1368. And here is a Chinese friend jumping with Michelle. They love to get their pictures with Americans.
We started down in the parking lot. We worked our way up here. It goes that way. And then watch this. Came down here. Ooh, well, what's that? Then over here. It goes all the way up there. And over there.
Some parts of Beijing are ultra modern. This square near our hotel reminded me of Times Square in New York City. Just amazing. And the amount of cars and how nice they are was amazing also. The terracotta soldiers of Zhehan were buried with the first emperor of China about 250 BC. The army included 8,000 soldiers, 130 chariots, 520 horses, 150 cavalry horses. They were buried with original weapons. But what happened was the next person in charge, the next emperor, looted the place, broke all the statues, all 8,000 of them, and took all the weapons. Now, the most important thing is they were discovered in 1974, and there was only one terracotta soldier left. And this terracotta soldier was an archer, and he was kneeling. And it was very interesting. His face was perfect, and the soles of his shoes were absolutely perfect, like you're going to see right now. Look at those soles. Pretty amazing. These 3 terracotta soldiers you are going to see right now were the fiercest fighters of all of the Chinese terracotta soldiers. Look at the wiring on this Chinese street. It's an electrician's nightmare. Can you believe it? Tibet is called the rooftop of the world, and for good reason. Its capital, Lhasa, is at 12,000 feet. On the door of our hotel room, it stated that we're over 12,000 feet, and next to our bed, there is a panic button if you feel like you're running out of oxygen. So here is a tank of oxygen they supply to everybody. We were greeted at the hotel with a bowl of yak butter tea. It was like drinking liquid butter. This is the view from our hotel room, and this is the Potala Palace, where the Dalai Lama used to spend his winters. Lhasa is a Buddhist sacred city, and thousands of pilgrims do something called a Kora around all the major sites. A Kora is a pilgrim circuit. And if you just look at these pictures, the biggest Kora is around the Jokhang Temple in the center of Lhasa. This is called a prayer wheel.
Go ahead.
So this is just the main square where all the pilgrims come to pray. Obviously a kid getting chased by a dog right there. So the next several pictures will be the people praying. So here are some getting their mats out. Here are some getting down on all fours, praying. And they not only have prayer wheels, they also have prayer beads, which are these. You can see this woman doing that. And now we are visiting a Buddhist temple, and they are reading, all of them are reading all together. This is what it looks like inside. This is a bowl of yak tea. Oh, I couldn't stand it. This was very interesting. Hopefully that is yak butter candle. So everything smelled like yak butter. Here is a monk carrying a prayer wheel and a liter of yak butter. Here's Michelle and myself in one of the Buddhist temples, and you just can't get away from modern technology. Michelle spinning a prayer wheel. This is us in the middle of the street, and this is Ray and Mike sitting down enjoying a little time off. Typical dress in Tibet. This is Mike and I discussing how bad yak tea is. This is Pam, Mike, Michelle, and myself ready to climb Potala Palace. And here are some women.
12,000 feet. There is some particular type of palace. I don't remember what Potala Palace. Of course, the Potala Palace is near your kneecap. And we have a Belgian Chai beer here. I am Greg. This is Mike. And we're going to have some of this beer, and then we're going to have a chaser. So, Mike?
Sollen wir trinken?
Trinken. Now we're going to have a chaser.
My nipple fell off.
Oh, my nipple fell off.
They do that. It's
All
a
right.
safety deal.
Wait, let me go back a little bit
So,
so I can get both of you in
Ready?
a shot.
here's our chaser. 1, 2, 3.
Suck.
Oh, went down smooth. Oh, yeah.
So of course Michelle and Pam had to also try it.
You're way better than Tony.
sunshine glowing in your eyes so true. Let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you. One, two, three. Thank you very welcome. Many ways and many more.
You gotta say thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Come on, Ray.
Thank you. Keep practice.
Yeah, you got to practice that a little bit. Hey, thanks, man.
Here's Michelle getting measured for a silk blouse and silk dress, handmade. Here is me getting photobombed at a temple on the Yangtze. Here's our ship on the Yangtze River. And next is a beautiful glass of wine with Pam in the background. And finally, Pam, Michelle, and Claudia at trivia night on the ship. We are now going through 3 absolutely beautiful gorges on the Yangtze River. So sit back and just listen.
Dangerous, but actually it is not. So what's more? What does this gorge have to offer to all of us to have a look? On the starboard side, there will that is about at least 1 to 2 o'clock direction. There is a platform, and on that platform, something like a platform, and on this platform thing, you will notice some houses. So within this 5-mile region of this gorge, there is only one family still living here. Before the Three Gorges Dam project, before the construction of that, the government told the people on this side, well, you better move out of the gorge or move to higher places.
This is Michelle and Billy, our most favorite China waitress. Mike and Pam enjoying themselves. Michelle dancing on an evening. This is a bridge over the Yangtze River. And I really like this shot. Passing the Yangtze River. And of course the gorges again. We are now on a sampan going up the Goddess Stream, a tributary of the Yangtze River, and there's coffins up in those hills, and a few goats on the hills also.
Again, 小情歌，喂，小情妹，难舍难丢，情歌不难舍，不要也难丢啊，下呀不得漏啊，难舍又难丢，难舍又难丢。
There's some more beautiful views of the Three Gorges. Now you are going to see the largest dam in the world, called the Three Gorge Dam. It's 1.4 miles long and over 600 feet high. It was just an amazing feat of engineering, and we stopped and we saw quite a bit of it. Here's Michelle and Pam enjoying themselves. And this is a primary school sponsored by Viking Cruise Lines. It was very interesting. For some reason, Chinese men pull up their shirts when they are too hot. And here is sunrise on the Yangtze River and the most beautiful lit buildings on every single stop on the Yangtze. Every city was lit and the lights were absolutely astounding. Watch this show.
This is the greatest light show.
All the way around too.
Yep.
On the other side.
Look at those buildings. This is Wuhan. And here's the other side.
Oh, look at those. Yeah, they're
Those over there are the best.
those are the better ones. Really?
Yeah. This is the Fairmont Hotel in Shanghai. Okay, Michelle.
Hello. So we're gonna go this way and give you the tour. So when you walk in, there's like coffee machine.
Coffee, there's wine.
There's little cabinet refrigerator with lots of cool stuff inside.
Holy shit. Look at this place.
So then you come this way. This is all the bedroom, and then there's like a little
Sitting room.
closet gallery here. And then this is the bathroom, and if you take a bath, you can watch TV while you're taking a bath. And his and her sinks, shower, and toilet.
Wow.
And then if you want to...
Oh, the bathrobes, of course. Wow. And then back out.
We're in Shanghai at the Fairmont.
At the Fairmont.
Visiting my friend Shanghai Czech.
Wow, look at this place. When was this built?
1920s.
1920. And over here, look at this promenade. There's the promenade right there. There is the Yangtze River. And look at these buildings. That's like the second tallest building in the world. Oh, wow. And the river bends around here.
We absolutely loved Shanghai. Our hotel was beautiful, and the promenade, there were hundreds of thousands of people. We went to the Roosevelt House bar and had great beers, very large like you see at Michelle's, but the nighttime from our deck was absolutely magnificent. The lights, like I said, the promenade, hundreds of thousands of people. But this is the most beautiful picture, I think, of the whole trip. Shanghai. And of course, on the plane on the way home to the United States.